welcome to Scott's Inverts. I'm Scott. You're gonna see a centipede in this video. In one of the inverts, it says the Dark Knight or the Chinese tiger centipede. This one is absolutely gorgeous and the camera just doesn't do her justice. Scolopendria, Wahenium, absolutely beautiful. How do we set her up? I'll show you. So we're starting off this build with a custom aquaria 30 by 30 by 30 glass enclosure. We have got the wire mesh at the top, at the back, and a glass lid. And this is a substrate that we're going to use. I am going to build it up a little bit more. Now the substrate itself is 50-50, so 50% pot and compost with 50% soil enhancer, which is Irish peat moss. And I've drenched it down. I've filled it up by 3 inches, put some water in, mixed it together, 3 inches again, more water, mix it together, and then another 3 inches. So we're just shy of 9 inches deep at the back and around 7.5 at the front. What I'm showing you up on screen now is the consistency of that soil. So with this species coming from China, we do want to keep that substrate nice and damp. And these are a forest floor dweller. They can be semi-arboreal. Every single centipede in the world has the ability to climb, and very well. So I also want to give this one those opportunities in here as well. But it's really important that we choose some nice pieces of flattish cork bark to go in the enclosure. This one we got from a local wildlife park. And what happens is with these is the centipede will go underneath there, squash itself between the bottom of that bark and the soil, and be very, very happy. Just put some thumb holes in there so our centipede's got ways in and ways back out again if needed, kind of like a store burrow. And I'm going to put another piece going across the back. These guys, when at night time, they do like to walk about. That's why we've gone for that bigger 30 by 30 by 30 enclosure. A little bit of silver birch bark in there as well, and again trying to get that forest floor feeling. Moss at the front on a piece of bark, again allowing our centipede to go underneath that if it needs to. Bit more moss at the back. Absolutely awesome. Now what I have noticed with especially this species is they tend to drink water from the moss as opposed to a water bowl, or they'll drink it from pools on top of that bark. So that's what I'm going to try with this enclosure. I recommend you guys at home do use that water dish because I am really on top of my collection, so I'll be in with this centipede every other day. Now I'm going again for that forest floor feeling, putting some twigs and some sticks in there to allow a little bit of climbing space as well. What I do find though is if you do it, you can get it to look more like a campfire instead of a forest floor. So just have that in the back of your mind when you're building. Some leaf litter there just to again give it that forest floor feel, make our centipede feel more at home. Now I've got some more leftover moss from another project that we're working on, so I thought, you know what, we'll get that in here as well. I am a little bit of a moss freak. I do like the moss. So there we go, loads more down the side. And again, as I always say, moss will take on 8 times its own weight in water, so it's absolutely amazing for our humidity and an amazing water source for our centipedes as well. Across the back there, going in with some more moss. I don't want to completely smother this one in moss because I really want it to kind of have that foresty feel. So we've got the bit of moss, we've got the little bits where there isn't any moss like you'd find on the forest floor in the shadows and such like. Little bit underneath sticks, so it kind of looks like it's been there forever. And we're going to go in and just absolutely drench all the timber in there and all the moss really, really well. Spray it all down. I've lifted my lights up that sit above there, that's why there's a bit of a colour change, so I can get the spray bottle in there a little bit better. Spraying it like this instead of spraying it wide because you get more water down to the spots where you want it. And indeed across that back where I want him to be drinking, I've absolutely drenched it around there. Get all that nice bark around those twigs nice and damp as well. And again, that will really help with the humidity in this enclosure. Loads more water across the moss, absolutely saturate the moss. And again, 8 times its own weight in water, that stuff can hold. So we do need to spray it down really, really well. And this is kind of like the big reveal, wiping the water off the front of the enclosure. Probably the last time I managed to get my hands in to do this because the centipede will be in there. What do you think to the final product? Do you think it looks like forest floor, or do you think it kind of maybe looks a little bit like the edge of a forest? Oh, I'm a little bit unsure myself, but either way, I think our centipede is going to be absolutely fine in here. So these guys can get up to around 12 inches in size. They've got those distinctive orange and black striped patterns on their legs, again, which gives them the tiger common name. They are known to be extremely defensive and predatory. They do take on animals such as large insects, small mammals and small lizards in the wild. They are native to Wahine Island over in China. We want to be keeping this one between 18 to 24 degrees, so right down at the bottom of that racken, and around 70% humidity. And it's also very important to include multiple areas to hide for this centipede, because when it's dark they will go adventuring around the whole enclosure. And again, it's really important that we give this species a larger enclosure. It's difficult to find exact life cycle of this particular species, but Scolopendra on a whole, the smaller ones tend to live for around 5 to 6 years, where the bigger gigantica ones are around 10 to 15. So this one, because it grows up to around 11 inches, I'm going to suggest it's going to last up to 10 years. But again, with it being wild caught, we don't know its age, so I'm hoping it's about halfway there. If not, maybe a little bit younger. And we rehoused it in a tarantula room, catch cup or catch tube, and again we can check our specimen for any abnormalities, any mites or anything like that. And as always, this one is absolutely perfect. Now we do this with every invert that we get that comes into Scott's Inverts, and we use a catch tube, sorry. I do like to have a quick look over, make sure everything's all right. This is the final product for the enclosure. Let me know down in the comments what you think of this bad boy. And there she is, or he is. Those legs really spark this one off for me. Just absolutely stunning. And like I said before, this one will go into a hiding spot, come straight back out like that, and go for a wander and explore every centimetre of this enclosure. And then hopefully when it starts to calm down, like they do in nature, through the day they'll be hidden and they'll be out and about at night time. Again, exploring quite a large area of land. Again, that's why we've gone for that bigger enclosure for this species, because they do like to roam. Remember, this one is very, very defensive. Although elusive, it will not think twice if your hand is nearby to grab you. Boom! So that was setting up our Scolopendra wahinium, the dark night, or the Chinese tiger-legged centipede. Absolutely stunningly beautiful centipede. We got her from the spider shop. If you want one, if you go to the spider shop, use discount code Scott in capital letters, followed by the number 5 for a cheeky little 5% discount. Now, this species of centipede is not for beginners. It is for us, or more for people that have been keeping centipedes for a very long time and are very used to their speed and their very defensive capabilities. This one is very quick and can be very defensive, as well as being extremely elusive. So this one's going to hide a lot of the time, which leads you into a false security, kind of provokes you into getting your hand in there and picking up pieces of cork to see where it is. Do not do that. If you do that one, this one goes from being elusive to being your absolute worst nightmare. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed today's video, drop me a comment, give me a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, hit that subscription button. And as always, we shall see you again on the next one.